How you guys doing? No break, which is going to be weird if you're watching this video on its own. I want to talk more about stropping. If you didn't catch the video I just shot about my recommendation for just doing like your weekly touch-ups on your knives or your daily touch-ups depending on your use. Again, if you didn't see that video, we're still here kind of impromptu on my coffee table. I'm sitting on my knees. It's not the best position to show you guys all this stuff, but I think my camera angle is about the best here. So we're going to talk all about stropping. I just went over some of the techniques for your stone. Hopefully that helps somebody out. And talked about equipment. I talked about the stropping compound. This video I want to focus on stropping because there's a lot of times where your knife may feel a little bit dull, but really stropping on a diamond loaded strop, because they cut so fast, will actually get you back up to sharp again, or at least a really nice working edge. Sometimes maybe a hair whittling edge, depending on your use, depending on how sharp you like to keep your EDC knives. So if you didn't see that video, I'm just gonna go over this really quick. I like diamond paste to load my strops, okay? And I'm going to recommend, these are Wicked Edge paste. You don't have to buy Wicked Edge. DMT makes this. This may even be repackaged DMT. I'm not sure. I don't know. Anyways, I like 3.5 micron. It cuts really fast. It's going to still give you that mirror polish look. Not quite as fine of a polish as 0.5 micron. Okay? But I don't think you need that for every day. That's for like a show edge. I'm not talking show edges here, okay? I'm talking every day, what goes in your pocket. I like my 306 Ultra Fine. I already went over that in the other video. And for stropping, I like my leather strop. Some people use cardboard MDF. I don't have any experience. I like a leather strop. If you're buying your strop or making your strop, I'm going to recommend to you, just what I've had luck with, is putting the smooth side facing up. You want your smooth side to load your compound on. And again, you can use rouge. Please don't turn this video off if you're not interested in spending the $25 on the diamond paste. You can go buy rouge at any hardware store. It's buffing compound rouge. Get the green. It's just not going to cut as fast. And you're going to have to condition it with some olive oil and rub it around and get a new surface on there. The rouge is just not going to cut as fast. I don't recommend it. I don't think you got time to waste. And I just love how fast this cuts. If you didn't see my other video, my feet are starting to fall asleep. I just did a 30-minute video on my knees. So this paste will cut so fast you can come straight off of this. I've had luck with ZDP, Spyderco ZDP, using this die sharp coarse continuous surface and going straight from this, okay, to my diamond loaded strop, and I still got a razor sharp edge. It was still reflection. It still had a reflection to it, but it wasn't quite like a mirror. Okay, so when you skip that many grits, you go straight from a coarse diamond stone down to a 3.5 micron strop. Yep, you're going to get some. It still cut great. I think it was maybe some micro serrations in there or something. I don't know. I liked it though. It just didn't look that great. So here's what I'm going to do for strop. We're going to pan you guys down. Oh, my legs are falling asleep. Probably should have waited like 10 minutes to do this. Oh well, we're in the zone, right? See if we can get some stropping footage here for you. This is a really bad angle. Okay. So I put my strop on the edge of the counter. Again, go back and watch that other video. I like the freedom to be able to drop my hand down, drop the knife handle down without hitting the countertop, okay? So put it on the edge. This is going to slip around. You don't have to have a leather. You can take just a wet rag. I don't want to mess our coffee table up here, so I'm going to put my leather pouch here. I'm going to set this wet or damp, moist. How you like that, Jim Skeleton? Moist. Put your moist up there. Put your moist towel. Put this on here. You can get a fancy stone holder. They're $25, $30. They work great. This works just as good for a lot less. Now it's not going to slide around on us, okay? And you're not pressing too hard. You're not using too much pressure here. So load up your strop, smooth side up. with your compound. It doesn't take a lot. You're going to rub it all around with your fingers, okay? If you didn't catch that other video, be sure to keep your strop in a Ziploc bag, because once these strops get contaminated and grit and grime and dirt and junk starts to get compressed into your strop, every time you strop your knife, you're going to get that same scratch in there. And you're going to say, well, this strop's just not working as good. Yes, maybe recondition it, blow it off. But once you start to get crap and grit and grime compressed into your strop, throw it away, get another one, make another one. They're not hard to make. They're just wood. Okay. I always number, because I've got several of these strops, 3.5 micron. That's how I keep that. Okay. Just so I know. Your strop will, over time, if you're anything like me and you strop all kinds of crap on it and you really strop all the way to the tip, you're going to start to put digs in your strop. If you're not paying attention, sometimes you can come down. If you come down a little bit too early, you can cut your strop a little bit. They're cheap. I think I got this for like $15 on eBay. Okay, you don't have to spend a lot of money on a strop. I recommend you don't. There's some strops that are $50 or something made out of mahogany. Maybe you could peel off the leather and put another piece of leather on top. I don't know. Oh, man. Let's raise you guys up a little bit here. Yeah? Better? Sorry. Earthquake. Earthquake simulator. That's really not funny. Sorry. Yeah, maybe that'll do. Alright, so what we're going to do is strop some knives. And again, when I talked about bellies and sharpening with your belly, the strop works so slow, you're not going to have really too much of an issue. But if you start to find when you're testing your sharpness that your belly's getting sharper than this is, lay it back a little when you're going on your belly, okay? And also don't use so much pressure there, because the way a belly works is like any pressure point. So when you come down, you've got all this surface area on the nose touching, and then you roll to the belly. Look, you go from this much touching to just that one little tiny area. So it's a lot easier to put a lot more pressure on that belly than you do the rest of the knife. Because when you're here, your whole surface area is touching here. But when you start to raise it up here, look, all that force that you're putting down is on that little tiny pressure point right there on the belly. Okay? Same thing when you're sharpening. Be careful. You don't want to prematurely wear off your belly and turn this into a weird Warncliffe shaped thingy. Okay? Alright, so here's how I strop. Again, using that technique, I'm going to just talk about it because this could be a standalone video. Some people are going to watch this video and not watch the other. I like to put either my finger here. Now why am I doing that? So that it will hit my strop or my stone before it hits the frame of the knife. You can do it like this, and you don't have to like grip onto it like this. Actually, you just barely want enough to protect your frame, okay? Or you can pinch it on the side too. For stropping, I like to go like this. For sharpening, I go like this. See how I'm covering that frame? But for stropping, I personally like to put my pointer finger right here. And that protects it. I got finger flesh, finger fat, coming all the way around the frame here, protecting my frame. That way, I can put my finger right on the frame, catches right on that sharpening notch, and I pull it back. And I am in no danger of stropping that anodizing off my frame or scratching my frame or whatever. Okay? So here we go. We're on our wet rag here. I start at the base. I start here. I go flat, and then I pull up to the tip. Okay? And again, when you're making your strop, the bigger the strop, the better. The longer, the better. Now, of course, you can get ridiculous. 2 foot long is not going to be good. But, you know, if you could get even a foot, even 12 inches of strop, that'd be great. Because you're getting more done per strop stroke. Per strop stroke. Say that 5 times fast. Okay? So we're just going to go along here. Again, using that, I guess I will pinch it because the way I'm sitting on my knees. We're going to go like this. I like to put my finger up here to steady it. Okay? And stropping, you really can't mess up. So even if you're scared of freehand sharpening, please do not be scared of stropping. I could teach a 90-year-old woman, and she could probably teach me actually, if she's 90, how to strop a knife. Okay? There's nothing. This cuts so slow. Okay? Even if you totally slip out, and you grind it like that one time, it's not like a sharpening stone. You might maybe get a little bit of a buff on the corner. You would never even know it though. Okay? So please, get your strop to touch up. And now for my main bevel, you can push just a little bit of pressure, very light pressure, and do this. When you're picking out your leather to buy your strop, make sure it's hard leather. If you're buying a strop, buy a hard strop. Again, smooth side up. I cannot stress that enough. For what I'm doing, this is pocket knives. Some people, if you go on like Bark River, where they're sharpening convex edges and stuff, maybe they like that nap side up, the rough side up. So you can see I'm just kind of switching it around. Sometimes I will go heel to this. Sometimes I will roll it up like this. Okay. Do a couple strokes like that. Do a couple strokes on the belly. I'm just shining it up really nice. This is the main bevel, okay? I haven't really gone to the apex yet. This is making it look pretty. This is for looking pretty right now. It is starting to get a little sharper. I can feel that. But what the real business is just lifting up just slightly past your main bevel. Again, for this to work, it has to be a hard leather strop, because a strop can actually roll up around your edge, okay, and dull it. If you put too much pressure on it, you don't want it to wrap up around your edge like that, okay? So the trick is a hard strop, light pressure, and when you're doing your micro bevel, it has to be real light. So if your main bevel's here, okay, if your main bevel's here, your micro bevel is going to be just 2 clicks above that. So from here to here, it's not a big difference at all. You will feel it on your strop though. When you strop your main bevel, you'll feel a little bit of resistance, okay? But when you go up on your main bevel, on your micro bevel, sorry. When you go up main bevel like this, you can feel that resistance. You can feel it polishing. When you go on your micro bevel, 2 clicks above, do knife weight alone, and you will feel it. It's just a totally different feel. It feels like you're scraping your fingernails across the strop. So you will feel just that very edge being stropped. It's a weird, get your strop out. If you guys are familiar with stropping, you will definitely feel it. You can almost hear it if my fish tank wasn't just a little bit low on water right now. Sorry about that. I actually think it's a little bit relaxing. It's like a little waterfall in the background, but some people hate it. But I've had fish tanks my whole life. My parents had one. I had one when we moved out. So do your micro bevel about knife weight alone. Just a couple pulls. You really can't do it too much, but if you put too much pressure here on your micro bevel, start over again. Go straight to your stone. Because you know what? You're not going to strop that out. Especially with diamonds. It's not a huge mistake, but you might make that mistake if you put too much pressure. I'm saying do not. I would rather you do too light of strokes on your micro bevel than too heavy. So just barely make contact with it until you get comfortable with about how much pressure it's going to need. Okay, on that micro bevel. And really, some people are going to ask, and you're absolutely right. Well, if I don't care about looks when I'm touching up, could I just go straight to my micro bevel? Absolutely. Absolutely, you could just strop your micro bevel, and you could just sharpen. If you go back and watch that other video that hopefully will be in this link, you could just touch up the micro bevel. And some people do that. That's about a 3-minute touch up from sharpening to stropping. But I'm trying to show you what I do. I care about my knives and how they look and stuff. It's maybe 50% of the reason I like knives is for the looks. The other 50% is performance. So there you go. How you would do something like this, where it's got the frame and everything in the way. You can absolutely sharpen this, drop this on a stone without modifying anything. So again, using that same technique, you got to kick the knife, right? This would hit the frame, and not get to the edge. So you got to kick the knife up, follow that grind line there, okay? And how I would recommend it, because it is just a tad thicker here, you want to keep that tip off, okay? So you would start your stroke like this. I'm trying to give you guys the very best angle. See, I'm very touching that base. I'm very concentrated on that base. I will pull down, 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 and then I'd roll it flat. So now it's flat. Do your stroke like that, and then come up to your tip like that. Okay? That's how I do it. And I'm not hitting the frame. I'm in no danger of hitting the frame here. Again, with my finger here, and I'm squishing down my finger fat, I'm actually protecting this. But you can, if you're not holding your angle right, and you try to roll this a little too soon here, you can hit your frame. Again, with a strop, it's not going to be the end of the world if you do hit your frame. You might get a slight polish on the corner here. Maybe. Probably not, but maybe. Okay? So I'm just going to do a few at-speed strokes on this. And just drop it up. And if you guys are asking, because I kind of have to have a conversation here with myself. See, if my strop was longer, I could do the belly, the tip to belly to flat. I don't mind doing it in sections, so I might strop this, and then I might strop the belly, then I might strop the tip, and then when I'm doing my micro bevel, I might strop the whole thing in one stroke. So what do I mean? Exactly that. I might do my flat portion here, okay? Again, holding my finger there, so I'm touching the strop before it hits my frame. Like this. And then I might come from the tip and then roll down to my belly like this. Not belly. I might do the tip and then roll down to my flat portion. Tip, roll down to my flat portion. Might go like this. Again, there's really nothing that you could do wrong right here besides put too much pressure on your micro bevel. You could put too much pressure here as well. So do be careful when you're stropping, especially using diamonds. Let your diamonds do the work. The diamonds are going to cut. You don't have to put much pressure on that. Okay, can you see how I got my finger here steadying this? That way I can control this knife. And I tend to be, that doesn't sound really bad. I am like 50% Italian, if you hadn't figured it out. And I don't really have a problem with dry hands or dry skin. I'm very oily, very greasy Italian. So this gives me, why am I saying that? I'm being silly. But anyways, my fingers always seem to have grip, okay? So this really gives me a lot of extra grip. If you're not getting a lot of grip, I don't know, figure out a way to get grip on your finger. Maybe get a little bit moist. There for you, Jim Skeleton, moist. And you'll catch some traction here. So I'm actually, I could almost just drop this with just this finger. It's giving me so much traction here. That finger on the nose there is really important. I do the same thing when I push this way, okay? And then we're going to run it on the micro bevel just a few times up like that. Again, you can do it all in one. And I'm trying to show you this. Normally my hand would be pinched up here, but I'm trying to expose as much of this knife as I possibly can for you. Okay. Still not a good angle. Man, there is no good way to do this. There's just not. I've tried to make these videos over the years. There's just not. Okay, let's see how we did here. I don't know how sharp this was when we started. And I want to talk too about when you might need to strop. Alright, getting close there. I don't want to get embarrassed on camera here, so I'm really making sure it's good. And again, I could run through all these knives and show you, but it's going to be the same technique, okay? All these different edge shapes here. When you got belly, when there's just a little bit of belly, maybe on this sheep's foot, modified sheep's foot, come down here, do something like this. Okay, it's all the same. If you have a lot of belly on your knife, just be sure that you're following that belly angle. You'll feel it. Alright, let's test sharpness. Now in my videos, I do not do this. I think it's pointless, but it does show how well you've stropped, I guess, or how sharp it is. So get you an old phone book. Nobody needs these anymore. We all have cell phones. Why do they still send them out? I don't know. When I had my business with my father, man, that's funny. I flipped right to this page. They actually sponsored my daughter's baseball team. First call. They do like environment. Like if you have a fire in your house, they do the cleanup on it, stuff like that. That's why they call it First Call. Great people. Anyways, so cutting paper. I don't cut paper in my everyday life. Okay. So I think it's a pointless test. I don't really do it often, but it does show how sharp your knife is. Okay. Especially if you can do like a curly Q cut, something like that. Maybe you could do like a push cut. I don't know. I'm not good at this stuff. That's knife blade alone cutting the paper. Okay. Does that make sense? Can you see that? Push cut, knife blade alone. I don't do this test. I don't cut paper on camera. Some people do. You can see this is pretty well cut up. So before I send a customer's knife out, I will just take a few swipes at this. So it is a good test. I can't say it's not a good test, but I just don't like to do it on camera. Alright. Yeah. So that's a good test. To me, it shows that there's no like wire edges. What do I mean by wire edge? Sometimes when you come off your stone, say like a ceramic stone, it's so hard that you want to make sure you're catching a burr. And you guys probably already know, I already talked about burr on the other video. A burr is like when the steel just kind of gets sharpened to the very, very apex of the edge, and it will just flip over just a little bit. Can you see that? So it would just flip over just a little bit. And that's a good thing. You know you got to the very edge. But now what do you do with that to get that burr off? Murray Carter suggests taking a block of wood and just running your edge through it just a few times to kind of just pull that burr off. He is highly trained in sharpening. I don't do that though. I just like to strop it off. Again, and with a lot of experience pulling it back to sharpening on a stone, with a lot of experience, you'll know when you start to hit that burr and you'll know exactly when to stop. Okay? And you'll also be able to feel it when you calibrate your fingers. What I mean by calibrate your fingers, some people don't know what a sharp knife really feels like. So if you want to calibrate your fingers, get something super sharp, like maybe even a razor blade or something. Here's my other EDC in my pocket today. So maybe get you, well, and this one's really used. So you got some drywall mud and crap on there. I really do like this tool. It's for another video. And this is dull. I need to change this blade out. But anyways, take a razor blade, kind of just feel it. Just feel what it feels like. Bite it on the back of your nail. See, this is not even biting in. This is a junk blade. But a sharp knife should bite. Let's pull you back a little bit more. A sharp knife should bite on your thumbnail. Right, knife blade alone, and it shouldn't slide off your thumbnail. Let's take something that might not be as sharp. I don't know if I've sharpened this lately or not. I know I was carrying it the past few days. This could use sharpening. It's just, see right there? See how it wants to slide off? And you can actually use this method to find the angle that you would need to hold your knife to sharpen it. So if this is biting in, biting in, biting in, biting in, biting in, oh, and then it slipped off, that means you've rolled off that main bevel, and you might be able to do it too. Some people use a big pen if you don't want to mess your thumbnail up. My thumbnail stays messed up. You see all my scars and stuff there, right? Be a man. Be a man, unless you're a woman watching this. So bite this in like this on your Bic pen or any plastic thing, and you will feel. To me, if it passes this test all the way down the knife, it's sharp enough to carry. For me personally, this is my yardstick. Okay, I'll just do it like this. Can I carry this today? Yep. Oh yeah, it's good. Or, oh, no, it's slipping right there on the belly. And you can, if you want, you could just go back and strop just that belly. If you wanted to, if you didn't have time. You could strop just on that micro bevel of the belly. And you can touch up like that. That is the true form of touching up. You know, you don't have to do the whole knife if you don't have time or you don't want to. When you are touching up, you are removing steel. Again, don't be worried about it. Don't get too OCD about it. This is removing so little steel, it's not even funny. If you just use these two things to touch up your knife, okay, your knife would last you probably 3 lifetimes. Probably your whole lifetime, your child's whole lifetime, and their whole child's lifetime. This removes so little steel. This is just really honing your knife. I wouldn't even know if I would consider it like a full sharpening, okay? So don't worry about it. Touch it up when you need to. If you're anything like me, this will be adequate enough to put in your pocket. Usually this is an indication, if it doesn't slide around, that it's shaving sharp. It's not going to be tree topping sharp. You're not going to be able to just pass this over that tops your hairs and it pops them off, right? But I don't want to mess my arms up. But anyways, if you could do that, can you see that? I don't want to do that too much. See that right there where it just, you see all that hair and stuff there? Maybe not, maybe. Anyways, usually if it passes that test, it's shaving sharp, and that's good enough for me. Wouldn't want to shave my face with it. I do straight razor shave, and I know what that feels like too. So we're not looking for that in a utility knife, okay? In a utility knife, I like that test. That's a really good test. And it's also good to find your angles. So that's my stropping video. Please let me know if you have any questions. Sorry if I've bebopped you guys around on my tripod here. I've got a mess of stuff on a table. Use your paper, but don't judge. Don't judge everything. Paper can get wet, moist. Really like that moist word today. It can though. It can absorb a little bit of water and stuff, and it's not a true measure of real world use. But I do like it if it's like, hey, is this sharp enough to send to somebody? I think it's a good test. If you're trying to demonstrate sharpness on video, I think it's good, and it does have its benefits, but I don't like to judge my sharpness on that to put in my pocket. To put in my pocket, use your fingernail test. So now we've gone over the stone sharpening. Again, that was a 30-minute video going over all the different blade things. Blade, whatever. I think we're out of video. I'm going to turn it off because it looks like we're not recording anymore. Maybe it says 0.01. What does that mean? Wrapping it up. That's the stropping video. Please let me know if there's any questions, and we'll go from there. I'm happy to make more videos on this stuff. See ya.